This is Ravn from 1349, and you're watching The Offering.
So it's been a few years and you're finally back touring in North America. How is this new tour for you so far?
The tour has been very, very good. It's has been several sold out shows so far, and even sold out here tonight in Chicago. So you can't complain. It's, the album sells very well as well, so it's being well received. It's just seemed to go only one way.
Yes, as you said, the new album, The Infernal Pathway, just came out, so it's pretty exciting time for you to take this album on the road, right?
Yeah, I mean it's always a bit weird because when you make the album for such a long time, so when it comes out, you kind of that's it. You kind of then you kind of we're so used to it, you know. So when it's out, it's like so. But now you kind of forget that this is the first time that other people hear it, you know. So it kind of you're impatient about having the album grow on people and to see the response come back. But the response has been fantastic so far. So it's it's all good.
When you started working on this album, did you have a precise idea, a music vision of what you wanted?
No, it's like the only thing that I said was that since this was our 7th album, I wanted this to have the most occult feeling that we ever had on an album before, and this should be reflected in the artwork and stuff. So that's mainly like the thing that I went into the most. The color setup and all this should be black and gold, and that's where it started. And then the band works a bit individually in a way, where so Archeon mainly makes all the songs, and he makes some sketches. Then he comes to me and record, and then this goes out to the others. And then here in Frost teams up at the rehearsal room, and they kind of knock out the basics of them, and then it comes back as a tape from there. And that's basically the process has been for the last 2 albums, and it's a process that works very well. So we just kept on doing it.
Right. And at what point do you think you felt completely satisfied with this album?
Well, when we heard the final, when you're in the studio and all the songs that starts falling together, vocals are being put on last, obviously, and when the vocals are done and you hear it back and you feel that you're done with enough vocals and stuff, and it's like that's kind of when the song is done as well. And of course you have mix and everything left, but if that basically is the feeling of how the song is going to be, and there's not much that changes after that. It's just fine tuning and stuff, you know, just tuning frequencies basically. So when the vocals are done, that's when you finally know how the album's going to be, or how it's going to sound, and what it's going to be, you know. It's always a fluid process. You kind of have to move with the force that is pushing the album forward.
And as you said, this is the 7th album, so do you feel like there is a connection between all the albums?
Yes, of course. It's we have a name for it as well. We call it Oral Hellfire, and that's the description that we use for the music that we create, and that is the one thing that is constant between all of the albums.
Even though you had different things, for example, on the Infernal Pathway.
Yeah, but it is
still.
The Oral Hellfire is a feeling.
Right.
And so it's not it's not so even if it's an intermezzo, it should give you the same feeling as the other song. It's a basic feeling that's always there, that runs through the whole album. It's not something that it has to be fuzz, bass, drum and vocals, you know. It's fuzz guitars. I mean, it's not just that. It's what you create with that, what you get out of that, and that is the Oral Hellfire.
And also there is the song Dödskamp, which was previously released as an EP, but now it's included on the new album. Is this song particularly meaningful for you, since it was inspired by famous painting too?
Well, Dödskamp was a project so it started out. We were asked by an organization in Norway that was gathering people in order to celebrate the 100 years anniversary of Edvard Munch, and they set out to make a project that's called Munch plus Music, and they were going to gather 4 different individual musicians or bands and they were going to interpret one painting of Edvard Munch at their own will. And we were included into this, but first when they asked us, we didn't see that we had the time to do it, so we declined it actually. Then they came back after only a few days and said, "So, what deadline would you need in order to do this to work? Because we really would like to have you included." And then we kind of caught between the tigers at that point, and we just had to make it work. At that point, we were in the middle of making and focusing and writing the new material for the album, and we didn't want this to be like a distraction of it. But Archeon, being a huge fan of Edvard Munch, so he was really eager to do this project to begin with, and then he spearheaded the whole thing, and we found the time, got it recorded. And when the song was done, it was very obvious that as the other songs of the album progressed as well, this song would fit perfectly on the album. And that's why it was also re-recorded as on the album as well. So it's an album version, so we had the EP version, you have the album version. And we also discussed having Norwegian lyrics on it. That didn't go through initially, but we got the time in the studio to sit down and work out some proper Norwegian lyrics for it as well. So that's the bonus track that is on the CD box set. So it's actually 3 different versions of Dödskamp.
Cool.
It's a lot of Dödskamp, but no, it was a fun project, and it was an honor, of course, to be asked
Right.
by the Munch Museum and be included in this project, and that they would actually move their schedule around in order to have us along also meant a lot to us. And I think the songs have turned out fantastic as well, and the reception of it, and even when you play it live, you can see how that people really connects with it also. It's you feel how the audience changed from song to song, like how much it means for them as well, and it's the reception for it has been tremendous.
So you really like playing this song live too?
Yeah, it's always interesting when you bring out a new album and see how the different
Right.
songs is being recepted by the audience, you know. And Dödskamp, when we started playing that, people really seem to enjoy it. So it's a steady part of the songs that we play on this album now, on this tour as well. Yeah. So.
Recently you also released a playthrough video for the song Through Eyes of Stone. Do you think you release more videos like this?
Not playthrough videos, but there will be a video for that song, Through Eyes of Stone.
Okay.
A proper music video, and we'll start working on that when we get off this tour.
Okay. And you also have the 1349 beer.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a bit about how it all happened.
Well,
Do you like beer in general?
Yeah, 1349 is where everybody in the band has been really fond of the craft beer scene since we saw it come to be, and since we toured so much in the US, it became big over here before it became big in Europe as well. And already in 2010 we got involved with a beer brewer up in Minneapolis, working for a brewery there called Surly. And this guy is called Todd Haugen. He said that if we ever wanted to make a beer, then you should let him know. And he said that, we wanted to make 2 beers, because we already had discussed this at this point, that we wanted 1 black ale and 1 pale ale, and we had the ideas and recipes, basically. So what we needed from him was that we had a taste palette, so we needed him to make the recipes. And as things progressed, and we finally got these beers going some years later, and we made a black ale, and a black ale that holds 13.49%, and a pale ale that holds 6.66%. And they got released in a Norwegian brewery called Lervik as an addition there, and they were also made up at Surly in Minneapolis. So they were made on both sides of the Atlantic.
Cool.
And the beer project is still ongoing, and we still keep very close with Todd, and Todd has now moved on to Three Floyds. So our wish is that the beer project will continue at the Three Floyds. So, but we have been focusing on music now, right. So it's like to get the beer in there is just a side project, so to speak. So we need to have the time to do it, and everything needs to be right. But now the album is done, so I hope that we can get some beers rolling, so people have some beverage to enjoy their album with.
While drinking the right beer.
Yeah, it all needs to line up, you know. So there are the taste palettes for several beers are developed, and we just need some skilled brewer to to put them into recipes and get them out there, basically.
And you've been making music since a long time now, over 20 years, I think.
Yeah.
How do you think the black metal scene has changed, and do you miss anything of those early years?
Well, the reason for me to form 1349 in the beginning was that I didn't like the direction that black metal was heading in the later half of the 90s. I felt there was too much synthesizers and over orchestrated keyboards, and the visual aspect turned more into a gothic scene look and stuff. And I felt that black metal was losing all the grimness and the rawness that was that I was fascinated by, and that really fueled me as a black metal fan. And I just made a decision at the point that there was no use in it wouldn't be any good in complaining about this. So I rather took matter into my own hand and found other peers that had the same vision and would like to follow me and see this tradition that Norwegian black metal was continue and take it and develop and take it from there on into the future. And we never look back from there on, you know. Then what the black metal scene would do, I mean, they can do whatever they want, but that's why I formed 1349, so that we can do what we want. And we want to maintain and progress the black metal scene the way we want it to be, and that's based on the early 90s. We take it from there on, and then of course we hail further back as well into the first wave, Celtic Frost and Hellhammer and Bathory and those type of band as well, you know, and mix that up with some of the aggression from Slayer, and it's basically the recipe for the oral hellfire that we provide, you know.
And what do you think about the current music industry and how important social media has become for all bands?
It's become a necessary evil in a way. I mean, but I don't understand why people want to start a band now and try to get into industry, because it's admirable for the amount of work, but I guess it's also a bit of stupidity because you have no idea how much work you have to put into it in order to make it happen. And of course, it's also strike a luck and who you get to work for you as well. But it's a music industry. It's still as corrupt as it has always been. You just need to play along with the right people in order to succeed. So the best thing you can do, you just find some peers that you hold on to. You find the people that you can trust and that understands you, and you work from there on. And I mean, black metal is not a huge. It's not the biggest of the genres that are in the music industry. So we kind of, as a subgenre, you placed beside the music industry in a way, and to be in the heat of the music industry is like, I don't understand why anybody would be there at any point. To stay on the side and just do what you want to do is, that's the best, you know. Find people that agrees with you and you work from there on. There's always somebody that have the same opinion as you, you know. You just have to find them. The longer you keep doing this, and the broader your reach will get, you know. And then, but to start up now,
No.
I don't envy that to anyone. It's
too difficult.
Yeah. Well, not too difficult, but the amount of work that you have to put in to get your band to grow to a level that you can, a level that I guess that you want to be at as a band, you know, that you want to see like success. I mean, it's.
And at this point of your career, after all these years, when you think about the future of 1349, is there anything you would like to achieve that you didn't yet, or that you hope for?
No, I mean, it's like when we make an album, we took the decision many years ago to become a touring band, and we would of course like to perform around the world and travel the world as well, because it's always interesting to see different culture and meet people around the world and meet your fans on their own ground, you know. You always have people fly in to big festivals and stuff, and they say that, oh, we come from this country, come from that country, and it's rewarding to meet them and see the dedication in what they do. But it's much simpler to fly in, the four of us, you know, to their country and to play for the people there, and see how their culture is, basically. And that's really, really rewarding. And so basically we just want to tour more and see more of the world. We always make every album that we make is the last one, you know. It's like we don't plan for a new album when we release an album, you know. So it's like it has to be the best one that we ever made. So, and because this is the last one, and with that attitude, you also, I think, you give a little bit more of yourself as well. It's like not like, oh, we're gonna release like 10 more albums and do this till we are 70 years old. Everything dies, you know. You don't know where you can die, so you have to do it now. You have to live now, and you release this album now, and you do it like it's your last one. You don't have to never save up anything, you know. You just pour your soul into it, and then you go from there. So everything is a bonus, basically, to tour around the world, and the album does well, you know. It's like great. Maybe we'll be able to do it again.
Right. Hopefully. We can hope.
You never know. Everything has to end, you know. It's
true.
Like
Everything must come to an end. After this tour, do you have other tours planned already, or?
Yeah, we go into Europe. We do a tour with Abbat and Veltonas. So that will happen in January and February, and then yeah, let's see if we can make something else happen during spring, before the festival season starts in Europe, and then I can't say anything more than that at this point.
Okay, thank you so much for the interview and congratulations on the new album.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy the rest of the tour.
Thank you.